Okay, this is part two of our presentation of the evaluation of the exceptional child, various assessment methods. We're covering right now, we're looking at academic performance. The next one up is the Wechsler Individual Achievement Test, or the Wyatt. It too is a comprehensive academic achievement test that measures listening, speaking, reading, writing, and mathematical skills. So, really, what you learn in school and what you're doing in school can be used in many different settings, schools, clinics, treatment facilities. So it's widely used in the for evaluating a child. uh, Mainly it measures reading comprehension and math computation abilities. In the IEP, the individual education plan, that is two of the big things for academic strength is reading comprehension and math computation ability. It can also be used to determine the strengths and weaknesses of a student and to design an IEP around that. Do they need math goals? Do they need reading goals? Things like that. So the Wechsler Individual Achievement Test. The final one is one I'm familiar with. It's the Woodcock Johnson. It's the one I used the last couple years. I did not really use it a lot. I became familiar with it and how to give it and everything. Um, so it is used for, like the others, individual assessment of academic achievement. It's short testing modules, which is good for students who have trouble paying attention. They're not asked to do something very long. They're about 5 minutes each. The focus there is on reading skills and comprehension. So that really helps them focus in on what they're doing, and you can break it up easier. There can be more breaks. You can give some one day and do little bits at a time, which really helps students as they go through it. Another area of assessment and evaluation is language. There is a difference between speech and language. Language is more of what they hear and can process. Speech is more what they're actually saying. Um, Speech develops most in the first 3 years. Um, a newborn, they can hear sounds and they know which things are important. They also know that things like crying will do things for them. They don't know that it's crying, but they know that if they cry, they will get fed, they'll get changed, somebody will comfort them. By about 6 months, they begin to recognize their native language. Um, and they can also make noises. The most usual ones are mama, gaga, things like that. Um, as they get older, about 18 months old, they can usually say about 8 to 10 words, and they're usually things that they need. So they can do that. And there's checklists doctors use to um, see where the child is developing in a language form. One of the great resources I used was, I think, the NASET, National Association of Special Education Teachers. I use that website a lot. They have a series of little PDFs called Parent Teacher Conference Notes, and they're excellent. And that's what I use for a lot of my research here and to review things. So, moving on, perceptual functioning is another area. It refers to how well a person can recognize and interpret things. An example is how a student with autism may have difficulty picking up on social clues. You can observe this in various settings. Observation would be your main method, and it could be very subjective depending on who's doing it. But you're basically looking at how is the child functioning and perceiving things around them and reacting to them. Behavior is another method. And if it seems like I'm rushing, I'm trying to get this all in with a time limit. The best method of observation is behavior in a classroom or whatever environment the child is in most often, which could be several environments. A behavior improvement plan or a BIP may be necessary. In some ways, behavior is dependent upon and relevant to the setting. So they'll be kids will behave differently in school than they do at home sometimes. It all depends. Let's move on. I'm almost finished here.